Yes, our Principal Secretary, Immigration and Citizen Services, Dr. Kisana Dedio, our Principal Secretary, Internal Security and National Administration, Dr. Raymond Omolo, our Members of Parliament, led by Peter Oponda Kaluma, and our DIG, National Security Team members who are here, Regional Security Team members, County Security Team, members of the public. Good afternoon. I'm Jambo. I just want to say very briefly that I am really privileged to be here this afternoon. It's a great honor and privilege to join you all today in the heart of Homa Bay County as we celebrate International Identity Day 2025. This is not just a celebration which is local, it's international, it's all over the world. And for Kenya, it's being done in Homa Bay. So this is extremely important. Jipigieni makofi. This day is a day that affirms one of the most fundamental human rights, the right to be recognized, the right to be counted, and the right to belong. Allow me to begin by appreciating the Principal Secretary, Migration and Citizen Services, Dr. Belio Kipsang, for his insightful remarks that he has shared to highlight the policy direction of the ministry and the way forward. Today we gather not only to celebrate our achievements, but to affirm our shared commitment to building an inclusive, efficient, and a forward-looking identity ecosystem. The symbolism of this date, the 16th day of the 9th month, is no coincidence. It's a reference to Sustainable Development Goal number 16.9, which is a UN Sustainable Development Goal, which calls for the legal identity for all, including birth registration, by the year 2030. Kenya stands proud among the nations making tangible progress towards this very important international goal. Over the past few years, we have witnessed transformational changes in our identity management landscape. Policies and actions that have made identity accessible, fairer, and more inclusive. The government of Kenya successfully granted citizenship and identification document to previously stateless communities such as Makonde, Shona, and Pemba. These communities now stand tall and proud citizens of Kenya, able to fully participate in national life. This is not just a legal milestone, it is a human one. Two, the rollout of Maisha Number ecosystem continues to be a very important cornerstone in our digitization agenda, designed to offer secure, unified, and interoperable identity framework. It enables Kenyans to access services efficiently and securely, whether it's healthcare, education, banking, or also exercising their voting rights. Three, at the direction of His Excellency the President, we have removed fees for first-time ID applicants, ensuring that financial constraints no longer stand in the way of Kenya accessing their legal identity. And I'm very happy to see everywhere we have gone in the 39 counties, including this one, you can see the huge number of Kenyans, young Kenyans, who have just attained the age of 18 years, between 18 and 20. Some have delayed up to 21 years because some could not afford 300 shillings to pay to come and register for their own ID. Today you can see them registering for free. All of them, first-time ID applicants, are getting it for free. Somebody's coming here, they're paying nothing and go home. That includes even those who are of adult age, 30, 40 years. For as long as you are applying your ID for the first time, you are taking it free. And we are in the process of reviewing those who are replacing their IDs to make sure also that the cost becomes affordable, not necessarily very free, so that everybody can take care of their ID, but we are reviewing the fee so that it becomes more affordable. In our journey towards equity and fairness, the government has also abolished the extra vetting requirement for identification for certain communities around, especially border counties, which includes Homa Bay County. This created unnecessary delays and stigmatization. We continue to review other similar legacy requirements that hinder equal access to identity cards. When the president launched this process of reviewing the extra vetting requirements for border counties, there was a lot of propaganda, especially for these politicians who are of shareholder mentality, who believe that some Kenyans do not deserve identity, that others are more important than others, that they started a propaganda trying to attack the people of northern part of the country. But they forget that all the border counties were being affected. Homa Bay, Migori, Narok, Kajiado, Kwale, Lamu, Tana River, Taita Taveta, counties like Garissa, Wajir, Mandera, Marsabit, Turkana, West Pokot, you come to Bungoma, and Busia. So it was all up to even parts of Siaya. So this is affecting the entire, those counties first of all were having problems. And then the counties that are neighboring those counties like Trans Nzoia. Trans Nzoia also is one of the border counties. And then the counties like Samburu were also being affected, who are just by neighboring Marsabit and other parts of Isiolo. So this was something affecting not nearly a third of the counties in the country. And by the president just removing extra vetting, we have seen increased number of Kenyans getting an opportunity to access their identity cards. And this is something we must celebrate, not just as Kenyans, but as in terms of humanity, because people are getting to be registered. I have launched mobile registration outreach programs across all the 39 counties where Jukwaa Usalama has been held, and today we extend this service also to Homa Bay County as we try to reach the remaining counties. Through these outreaches, we are determined to reach those previously left behind, marginalized communities in remote areas, elderly citizens, and young people who have long faced access barriers. Our plan with if you've looked at the machines, we have the live capture machines. In the past, you went to, or the practice in many places now, you go to registration center and your documents have to be taken all the way to Nairobi. Now, with live capture machines, which is the future of registration, you will not need to travel with documents, and our officers don't need to transmit documents to Nairobi. The only transmission will be when you are bringing back the ID. Once registration has been done using the live capture machines, all your documentation is sent, printed within a day or two, and in not more than 7 days you have your identity card. Most of those people you are seeing outside here registering now, they will have their IDs in 3 days. So by Friday, all of them can collect their IDs. Since now we have Kabunde Airstrip, once we complete the renovation and the extension that we are doing now, it can even take 2-3 days because the documents can be flown here and distributed in good time. In addition, over the past 2 years, we have operationalized more than 40 new civil registration officers across the country, particularly in hard-reach areas, bringing it to a total of 170 up from 125. This expansion is ensuring that the Kenyans, regardless of where they live, enjoy equal access to their vital documents. Again, the area that we have had very poor access is birth certificates and death certificates. And there is also a prohibitive cost towards the issuance of birth certificate. We are reviewing with a view of bringing it down or eliminating completely the fees that are required for birth certificates so that Kenyans can get these documents. This registration process, also death certificates, which many Kenyans are unable to get, we want also to review the same. And that's why the offices have increased within the last 2 years from 125 to 175. Our obligation is that our intention is that before the next elections, we should reach at least all constituencies. we must have 290 registration centers. As you heard, I have directed that the constituencies, including Diwa, that don't have a registration officer, we must give them registration officers by December this year, so that the people can get their birth certificates and death certificates at a closer offices. We request also members of parliament here to support us in the budgetary allocation to make sure that these services are decentralized to at least the constituencies and subsequently to other parts of the country. With technology, in future, not so far, in the very near future, those who will be only applying IDs are those who will be applying IDs will be those who will have become citizens of Kenya by application or and so forth. It will be possible to register children at birth and tell them to wait for their IDs, and they can pick them when they are of age, so that you don't have to wait when you are 18, you are going to registration center. That will be automatic going forward with the advance of technology. Further, we have decentralized passport application services so that Kenyans can access travel documents more conveniently. In the past, you had to travel all the way to Nairobi, including when I applied my passport, for you to get a passport, and then you go through very stringent procedures. But now, in this region, for example, people can now apply their passports in Kisumu or Kisii, and even travel to neighboring Kericho or Eldoret or Bungoma. Those counties, people don't have to travel to Nairobi. And then subsequently, we will work hard so that eventually every county will have passport registration center and you don't have to travel far. These achievements are worth celebrating, but also worth building upon. Fellow Kenyans, as we celebrate today, we must also take a honest look at the challenges of our past, because it is in understanding these challenges that we find the courage and wisdom to overcome them. For years, bureaucratic hurdles and outdated processes denied many Kenyans the right to identity. Communities were left stateless, youth were disenfranchised, and whole regions struggled to access public service. We listened, we learned, and we acted, but our work is not complete. Today, I am pleased to announce new directives aimed at strengthening and deepening our progress towards total inclusion and equity. First, effective today, the civil registration services will no longer charge any authentication fees for birth certificates when applying for national identity cards or passports. This step removes any unnecessary financial barrier and aligns with our vision to simplifying identity access. Two, while birth and death registration within 6 months is free, a fee is currently charged for obtaining birth or death certificates. The ministry is reviewing this policy with a view to making the first issuance of these certificates free of charge, since to ensure every child born in Kenya has access to birth certificate regardless of income and location. And once this review is complete, with the support and direction of His Excellency the President, we shall commence the process of eliminating the same. We are also initiating a policy review to recognize and document small unrecognized communities who still face systemic challenges in securing documentation. Every Kenya counts, and every Kenyan must be counted. We will be introducing user-friendly systems, allowing citizens to initiate and track their applications online. Kenyans should have real-time information on the process and the status of their national identification application. We want to ensure that there is a seamless, citizen-centric approach to identity services. I have also directed and have been assured that we will progressively expand the civil registration operational offices and to make sure that all the 290 constituencies are fully covered by the year 2027, to ensure that every child has access to birth registration services as close to their place of birth as possible. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, as part of our ongoing efforts to strengthen identity management, we are today launching a real-time biometric ID verification system with 3 key modules. One is an online solution which verifies a person's identity even without physical ID. Second, it integrates our current live capture system to verify all 10 fingerprints and issue a secure verification certificate. And 3, the third authenticates the validity of a physical ID against the data stored in the chip. This system will in time be linked to secure digital wallets, enabling safe and convenient access to e-government services, healthcare, and digital payments. Identity is not just about documents, it is about dignity, belonging, and opportunity. It is the key that opens doors to education, to health, employment, security, and citizenship. It is also the document that enables you to make your choices, to vote, and to determine the leaders that you would like to vote for. I want to challenge you people of Homa Bay. In paper or on the face of it, you have numbers. But where it matters, there is no numbers. Yeah? When now we ask, we have so many people we are feeding, but we have very few people making the decision. Yeah? We have so many people being led, but very few people, they have left very few people to make the decision as to who will lead them. It is time we encourage you to make sure that you have your identity card and play a role in determining the people who are going to lead you as a people. And that is not just Homa Bay. This right, many of the marginalized communities have been disenfranchised for many years just because they come from northern part of the country, the North Rift part of the country, they come from marginalized areas, they have been denied registration offices, they have been denied registration services as part of deliberate mechanisms of ensuring that they will never contribute to leadership in the country. This year, this time, this generation, we must bring everybody to the fold, and every Kenyan must matter in terms of determining the people who will lead them. I have seen the deliberate insult, characterization, and profiling of some parts of Kenya. Every time we say we are going there to offer registration of persons, we are going to give them mobile registration, we will make it easy for them to be registered. I have seen very terrible profiling by tribalists on Kenyans who consider themselves more important than others, that those people are either foreigners or that we are registering terrorists, or we are bringing in foreigners to the country. It is time. It is time. It is time through registration we make every Kenyan matter, and they must matter where it matters most. That is at the ballot. So that going forward, all these political actors who want to lead our country can be forced to walk all over Kenya and feel the pain that other Kenyans feel as they look for votes and the opportunity to be led by those Kenyans. Until we bring all these Kenyans to the fold, we will continue with this negative profiling, negative message of major shareholders and lesser shareholders in our country. We must say enough is enough. Kenya belongs to all citizens, and every citizen must have a space in its leadership. Lastly, let's continue working together across all levels of government, civil society, development partners, and the private sector to make sure that no child goes unregistered, no youth goes unrecognized, and no adult is left behind in accessing identity. In conclusion, today we celebrate more than a policy goal. We celebrate progress. But more than that, we recommit ourselves to the mission of delivering legal identity to every Kenyan without exception. Let us use this Identity Day to renew our collective resolve to build a future where everyone is known, everyone is recognized, and everyone belongs. To every Kenyan out there, wherever you live, whichever community you come from, your identity matters and you matter. Happy Identity Day, and asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much.